Hello students, in the previous session of chapter 8 Introduction to Trigonometry, we have already discussed how to calculate trigonometric ratios of some specific angles, and today we are going to discuss how to calculate trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. Now two angles are said to be complementary if their sum equals to 90 degree. As you can see, 55 degree plus 35 degree will give you 90 degree and 60 degree plus 30 degree will give you 90 degree. So we are going to discuss about the trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. Now for this, what we have to do, we have to consider a right angle triangle right angled at B. Now can you see any pair of complementary angles? Yes. You can see, we know that angle A plus angle C is equal to 90 degrees since angle B is of 90 degrees. So by angle sum property, sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Since this is 90 degrees, so angle A plus angle C will give you 90 degree. Now what will be the trigonometric ratios with respect to angle A? Since we are considering angle A, so sine of A is what? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So we are considering this angle. So this will be perpendicular and this will be hypotenuse. So sine A will be BC upon AC. Similarly, what is cos A? Cos A is base upon hypotenuse. With respect to angle A, this will be base. So AB upon AC will be cos A. For tan A is what? Perpendicular upon base. Since this is perpendicular and this is base, so BC upon AB will give you tan A. Now what about other three trigonometric ratios? Cosecant of A. This is reciprocal of sine A. So 1 upon sine A. This will be AC upon BC. Secant A is what? Reciprocal of cos A. So 1 upon cos A will give you AC upon AB, which is secant A. What about cot A? Cot A is reciprocal of tan A. We have already calculated the value of tan A. So 1 upon tan A will give you cot A. So AB upon BC. Now as we know, angle A plus angle C is equal to 90 degree. So I can write angle C as 90 degree minus of angle A. For convenience, we shall write 90 degree minus A instead of 90 degree minus angle A. Now we have to find that side AB is opposite to angle 90 minus A, and the side BC is the side adjacent to angle 90 degree minus A. Now by using the definition of trigonometric ratios, we will calculate the 6 trigonometric ratios. First of all, sine of angle C. As we have taken angle C as 90 degree minus A, as we can write this as, so perpendicular upon hypotenuse will give you the value of sine of angle C. So with respect to angle C, what will be the perpendicular? AB, and AC will be the hypotenuse. So sine of angle C will be AB upon AC. As we have already calculated the value of cos A, which is also AB upon AC, so we can write sine of 90 degree minus A is equal to cos A. Now what will be the value of cos of angle C? So in place of angle C, we can write 90 degree minus A. So cos of 90 degree minus A is what? B upon H, means we need to consider with respect to angle C. So what will be the base with respect to angle C? BC will be the base and AC will be the hypotenuse. So BC upon AC will give you the value of cos of angle C. Also BC upon AC is what? Sine of A. So we can write cos of 90 degree minus A is equal to sine A. Now we will calculate the value of tan of angle C. Again, in place of angle C, we can write 90 degree minus A. So, tan of 90 degree minus A is what? Perpendicular upon base. Since AB is the perpendicular, so AB upon BC is the base. So, BC. Also, cot A is AB upon BC. So, we can write tan of 90 degree minus A as cot A. Now, what will be the cot of angle C? Again, 90 degree minus A. So, cot of 90 degree minus A will give you base upon perpendicular. What will be the base? Base will be BC. And what will be the perpendicular? AB will be the perpendicular. So, BC upon AB. Also, tan of A is what? BC upon AB. So, we can write cot of 90 degree minus A is equal to tan A. Now, what will be the value of secant of angle C? Secant of angle C, in place of angle C, you will write 90 degree minus A. So, hypotenuse upon base, because secant A is reciprocal of what? Cos A. Means secant of angle C will be the reciprocal of cos of angle C. So, you will get hypotenuse upon base. This is AC upon BC. Also, value of cosecant A is what? AC upon BC. So, you can write secant of 90 degree minus A as cosecant A. Now, cosecant of angle C is what? 90 degree minus of A. So, cosecant of 90 degree minus A is what? Hypotenuse upon perpendicular, which is AC upon AB. Also, secant A is what? AC upon AB. So, we can write cosecant of 90 degree minus A as secant A. So, we have the values of 6 trigonometric ratios with respect to angle C, which is 90 degree minus A as sin of 90 degree minus A is cos A, cos of 90 degree minus A as sin A, tan of 90 degree minus A as cot A, cot of 90 degree minus A as tan A, secant of 90 degree minus A as cosecant A, and cosecant of 90 degree minus A as secant A. Now, what will happen if we substitute A as 90 degree or A as 0 degree? So, first we will consider the value of angle A as 90 degree. So, what will we get? Sin of 90 degree minus A. So, in place of A, you have to write 90 degree. So, sin of 90 degree minus 90 degree will give you what? Sin of 0 degree. And you know the value of sin of 0 degree is 0. Now, cosecant of 0 degree is what? Cosecant is reciprocal of sine. So, what will you get? 1 upon sine of 0 degree. Now, sine of 0 degree is 0 and 1 upon 0 is not defined. So, value of cosecant of 0 degree is not defined. Now, cos of 90 degree minus A. In place of A, you have to write 90 degree. So, what will you get? Cos of 0 degree. And you know the value of cos of 0 degree is 1. Now, what is the value of secant 0 degree? Secant is reciprocal of cos. So, secant of 0 degree is 1 upon cos 0 degree. So, what you will get? 1 upon 1 is equal to 1. Now, tan of 90 degree minus A is what? Tan 0 degree. Tan 0 degree is what? 0. So, cot of 0 degree is what? 1 upon tan 0 degree. So, 1 upon 0 is what? Not defined. So, the value of cot of 0 degree is what? Not defined. Now, we will substitute A as 0 degree. Now, sine of 90 degree minus A means what? In place of A, you need to write 0 degree. So, you will get sine of 90 degree, which is 1. So, how you will calculate cosecant of 90 degree? 1 upon sine of 90 degree means 1 upon 1, you will get 1. So the value of sine of 90 degree is 1. Cosecant of 90 degree is 1. Now, cos of 90 degree minus A. So in place of A, you need to write 0 degree. What will you get? Cos of 90 degree, which is 0. And secant is reciprocal of cos. So secant of 90 degree is what? 1 upon cos 90 degree, which will give you not defined. Now tan of 90 degree minus A is what? In place of A, you need to write 0 degree. So what will you get? Tan 90 degree, and you know the value of tan 90 degree is what? Not defined. So cot of 90 degree is what? 1 upon tan 90 degree. So 0 upon 1 will give you 0. Now we will understand with the help of examples. Example 1. Evaluate tan of 65 degree upon cot 25 degree. Now for this, as we know that cot A is what? Tan of 90 degree minus A. So therefore, we can write cot 25 degree as tan of 90 degree minus 25 degree. Means we have taken this angle as A. So what will you get? Tan of 65 degree. So I can write cot 25 degree as tan of 65 degree. So just replace cot function by tan function. What will you get? Tan 65 degree upon cot 25 degree is equal to tan 65 degree upon tan 65 degree is equal to 1. Because this will cancel out, you will get 1. Now example 2. Express cot 85 degree plus cos 75 degree in terms of trigonometric ratios of angles between 0 degree and 45 degree. So what will we get? Cot of 85 degree. We can write cot of 85 degree as cot 90 degree minus 5 degree, because 90 minus 5 will give you 85. And cos of 75 degree as 90 degree minus 15 degree, because 90 minus 15 will give you 75. So cot of 90 degree minus 5 degree plus cos of 90 degree minus 15 degree. Now this function will give you tan 5 degree. And what will be cos 90 degree minus 15 degree? It is sin 15 degree. So we have expressed this in terms of angles between 0 degree and 45 degree. Now example 3. If sin 3a is equal to cos a minus 26 degree, where 3a is an acute angle, find the value of a. Now we are given that sine of 3a is equal to cos a minus 26 degree, and we know that sine 3a is equal to what? We can write sine 3a as cos of 90 degree minus 3a. So from these two equations, what will we get? Cos of a minus 26 degree is equal to cos of 90 minus 3a. So a minus 26 degree and 90 degree minus 3a are both acute angles. Therefore, what will we get? 90 degree minus 3a is equal to a minus 26 degree. So after solving for the value of a, what will you get? We will get a as 29 degree. Now we will discuss exercise 8.3, question number 2. Show that tan 48 degree into tan 23 degree into tan 42 degree into tan 67 degree is equal to 1. So what will we do? We will consider this tan 48 degree into tan 23 degree into tan 42 degree into tan 67 degree. Equation as A. Now simplify the given problem by converting some of the tan functions to cot functions. We know that tan of 48 degree is what? Tan of 90 degree minus 42 degree means what? Cot 42 degree. And tan of 23 degree is what? We can write 23 degree as 90 minus 67 degree. So tan of 90 degree minus 67 degree will give you cot of 67 degree. So in place of tan 48 degree we can write cot 42 degree. In place of tan 23 degree we can write cot 67 degree. So using both the equations in A, we get tan of 90 degree minus 42 degree into tan of 90 degree minus 67 degree into tan of 42 degree into tan of 67 degree. So in place of this we can write cot 42 degree. In place of this we can write cot 67 degree and these two as it is. So combine cot 42 degree and tan 42 degree, cot 67 degree, tan 67 degree. This will give you 1 because cot function is reciprocal of tan function. So I can write cot 42 degree as 1 upon tan 42 degree. So that will cancel out. You will get 1. Here also I can write cot 67 degree as 1 upon tan 67 degree. That will cancel out. You will get 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. So we have proved that the value of this is equal to 1. Now next question. Question number 4. If tan of A is equal to cot B, we need to prove that A plus B is equal to 90 degree. Now we are given with tan A is equal to cot B. And we know that we can write cot B as tan of 90 degree minus B. Here we need to prove A plus B is equal to 90 degree. For this what we have to do? Simply substitute the value of cot B from equation 1 in the given equation. So what will you get? Tan A is equal to tan of 90 degree minus B. So we can write A is equal to 90 degree minus B. Here just simply A plus B is equal to 90 degree. So we have proved that A plus B is equal to 90 degree. Now next question, question number 6. If A, B and C are interior angles of a triangle ABC, then show that sine of B plus C by 2 is equal to cos A by 2. Now we know that for a given triangle, sum of all the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. So A, B and C, since these are the angles, so sum of these angles is equal to 180 degree. So A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degree. Mark this equation as 1. Now we need to find the value of B plus C divided by 2. Now simplify the equation 1. Here how you will calculate the value of B plus C? B plus C is equal to 180 degree minus A. Now divide this equation by 2. What will you get? B plus C divided by 2. Since we need to find out the value of B plus C divided by 2, so we have to divide this equation by 2. So B plus C divided by 2 will give you 180 degree minus A divided by 2, which is what? 90 degree minus A by 2. Now multiply both sides by sine function. So sine of B plus C divided by 2 is what? Sine of 90 degree minus a by 2. Now since sine of 90 degree minus a by 2 is what? Cos of a by 2. So from these equations, what will you get? Sine of b plus c, this one, is equal to cos of a by 2. So we have proved that sine of b plus c divided by 2 is equal to cos of a by 2. Now, this is your home assignment. Question number 1. Evaluate the following. Cos of 48 degree minus sine of 42 degree. Part 2. Cosecant of 31 degree minus secant of 59 degree. Now question number 2. If tan of 2a is equal to cot of a minus 18 degree, where 2a is an acute angle, find the value of a. Question number 3. If secant of 4a is equal to cosecant of a minus 20 degree, where 4a is an acute angle, find the value of a. Let us quickly recapitulate what we have studied today. The values of trigonometric ratios with respect to angle C, where we have considered angle C as 90 degree minus angle A. So sine of 90 degree minus A is what? Cos A. Cos of 90 degree minus A is what? Sin A. And tan of 90 degree minus A is what? Cot A. Cot of 90 degree minus A is tan A. Secant of 90 degree minus A is cosecant A. And cosecant of 90 degree minus A is secant A. So, that is the complementary angles of 6 trigonometric ratios are formulated with respect to the angles that lie between 0 degree and 90 degree. I hope you have understood the concept of finding the 6 trigonometric ratios with respect to the complementary angles very well. Thank you.